Alright, this is another backpack that I just created. This is the all camouflage backpack that my husband actually requested. I used 3 of the Patton's Classic Wool, and the color is Forest. It comes out with this. It comes out looking like camouflage material, and actually I used 2, and I ran short on making this strap right here, so that's the only reason why I needed the 3rd one. So really, if you made a shorter strap or a shorter flap, you probably wouldn't even really need 3. But for this, I used 3 of the Patton's Classic Wool in the color Forest. And I used the J10 6mm crochet hook. And the way I made this backpack, first off, I did the back and the front piece, and my husband wanted a backpack that wasn't going to be so bulky, so I did the front and the back piece. Started off with a chain of 41, and then I did 40 single crochets across for each row. I did 40 rows, so 40 single crochets make 1 row, and I did 40 rows of that, and that's the same for the front and the back pieces. And then what I did was I attached to one of the pieces, attached the yarn to the corner of one of the pieces, and then I did 8 single crochets across, and then that equaled 1 row. And my husband's a pretty tall, big guy, so I made the 74 rows of 8 single crochets across. So 8 single crochets across equals 1 row for the strap, and I did 74 rows for both sides, and on each side attached it to the corner piece of one side. And then I took and counted the rows across. Obviously we know we've got the 40 rows, so the center I counted to 20 rows, which would be center point, and then that's where I attached the other end of the straps on each side. That way it'll be the straps, top part of the straps is center on the back piece. Then the next thing I did after I attached the back piece was I started to attach the front and back pieces. Because he didn't want this bulky, I did not make a separate side piece or bottom piece. So I just took the 2 pieces and stitched them together with a single crochet, connecting the pieces together using a single crochet all the way around the bottom piece, the sides, and then after I had all the sides attached with my strap, then I attached my yarn to the piece with the straps. Now become your back piece, obviously. So then I attached the yarn to the corner of the back piece, and I worked in 40 single crochets across. So again, our row is going to be 40 single crochets, and for this one I did 19 rows, but it's up to you. If you want a shorter flap or a longer flap, you can modify that. But for this one, I did 19 rows for the flap. Then after I was done with the flap, I purchased this strap works, low profile non-slip, fits 1-inch strapping. That's this piece here. I decided instead of my normal, I usually put a button because I wanted this to look more manly. So I bought the Strapworks strapping, and I did this 5 single crochets across. So I started with a chain of 6 and then worked 5 single crochets across, and for this bottom piece here I did 18 rows, and then I went ahead and strung it through and then attached it. But I didn't attach it to the backpack yet because after felting, I don't know where it's going to be appropriate. So I decided I would sew that piece on after felting. For this piece here, I found center point, which pretty much would start at the 17th stitch over, and then I did 6 single crochets across. I did that for a couple of rows, and then I decreased by 1, so that way I have my 5 single crochets across for the row. And the reason I did 6 was because it was an even number of rows, 40, so there was no way to get exact center point unless I did an even number. So 17 stitches over, and then I did 6 single crochets for a couple of rows, and then I decreased down to 5 single crochets. I did 10 rows of that, and then again ran it through. This here I did because I didn't make it in a I didn't want to make it an adjustable type, so you know, normally you would run it through there. I just ran it straight over it and did that, and then stitched it together up here. So that is the backpack, and this is pre-felt. I'm gonna go felt it now. Because I'm gonna put a lining for this, I don't really have to keep felting it down, so it depends on the size of the strap. When after the first felt, whether or not I'm going to felt it more. So that's the front side. And that's the back side. The straps. So it's pretty simple. I mean, I think a beginner can actually make this backpack because the stitches I used are nothing but single crochet, and you can't get any more simple or basic than the single crochet. Okay, so this is what the backpack looks like after 2 felt cycles on cold water, heavy duty cold water. Felted it twice. This is where I ended up attaching this strap. Attached it here and here. So that's. Of course, like with all other felt projects, I will continue to stretch and mold and just kind of form it to the final form that I want it to be. This is how long the strap ended up being at 74. That's So that's the backpack. It's the front side. And that's the back side.